just your
Hey guys, this is Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 30th of March. Can't believe March is almost over already. 2020. Talk about, well, Monday Night Raw. I thought tonight's Raw was pretty good. Could have done with another live match, or what we would call live on a pre-tape show, instead of an old match like they showed. But hey, I don't understand why. And Nick, you can give your 2 cents on this. Yes, Nick is here with me as well. He's been in the chat with you guys.
Yeah,
but I don't
it's
get
not
why.
like my graphics up or anything.
My bad. I did one with that because
It's
you
all
weren't
good.
on last night.
I wasn't on. And it was the same thing too last week when I wasn't on the one show last week. The next day my graphic wasn't up. It's all good.
Anyways, my thing is, what was I trying to get? Oh, how with Raw you get like 1, maybe 2 live new matches, and then like 2 previous matches. But with SmackDown, like SmackDown last week, we got 1 old match and then like 3 new matches. Well, no, we got 3 new matches tonight. I don't know. Maybe it's just because
it just feels weird. It feels weird watching them
because it feels like more, but you also have to think, well, Raw's got that extra hour they got to fill, which I wasn't thinking of, to be honest.
Exactly.
But with that, we're here to talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. And
hey,
first off, let's see who's here with us on the live.
Thank you. I was going to say I didn't get to do my let's take a look at who's in the chat with us because we've got some cool people in here today.
You.
Angel Hernandez, your chat's been popping off since before we even went live. We have 69 people watching. Everyone say nice in chat right now.
Dang it, I was going to screenshot it and it went up to 72.
It's good. I already changed it. Jazz Gill is here as well. Chad Davis, Mr. M. Brown, Chase Brim, Eric Tate. That's really close to Taint. Robbie Rice, Apollo Cruz, the official Apollo Cruz. Big fan of the show, I guess. Travis R is here as well. And so many more lovely, lovely people. Broken King, Woken Kingslander. I always make sure that I can say hi to him because I've seen him since my first live show.
Nice.
Hope everyone's doing good today.
So,
jump into Raw, man.
Raw kicks off with this Undertaker promo. And Undertaker and AJ, they're just full. We're just going real life.
This is so good.
Because Undertaker opens it up. Undertaker's shown in this dark room, wearing street clothes. Not talking like the quote-unquote dead man, but talking like the American Badass style Undertaker. And he's talking about how he's going to have this match with AJ Styles. He goes, or should I say, Alan Jones.
What a uncool name.
That's AJ's real name.
No way. What do you think AJ stood for?
Alan Jones.
I don't know. I was going to go with some.
And all of his kids' initials are AJ, too. That's why he's got the tattoo AJ on his side because of his kids.
Jesus.
Yep. It's got the big AJ, and then under it are the dates of when his kids were born.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Undertaker says we're getting real now. Taker said the Styles must either have big balls or is really just that stupid. He heard a lot worse from better people, but admitted some of Styles' words were true. Styles was right not to want to face him 10 to 15 years ago. Styles was happy being a big fish in a small pond way back when. He said, but you couldn't hang with the likes of Steve Austin, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Edge, Booker T, and Eddie Guerrero. But my thing was, okay.
Real quick.
Huh.
Just that part of the promo where he talks about, like, you couldn't hang with all these legends. Motherfucker, you don't realize how actually good Undertaker really was, because the last few times we've had to see Undertaker, it hasn't been very great.
Right.
And when you think a lot about how truly Undertaker used to be so fucking dominant, especially even just during the Attitude Era alone, he was such a dominant force. And you always forget about how much power, because you think about the character, The Undertaker, and he's cool and all, and he has all these powers, but he's also like, this dude fucking, he knows his way around the ring. This dude's not going to put on a fucking ring general match, but like, knows what he's doing.
My thing was whoever wrote this promo for Undertaker didn't do their due diligence, though.
Why?
Because when he says you couldn't hang with Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Booker T, all three of those guys worked in TNA the same time AJ was there. And we know AJ had some fucking bangers with Kurt Angle. And he had some good matches with Booker.
Does TNA even exist to WWE though?
Yeah, they
Like,
did a
Yeah,
they did a whole
they did that table for three.
Table for three talking about. They've done 2 table for threes talking about TNA, and they got freaking licensed footage. And I think they used TNA footage in AJ's 365.
They might have, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
Undertaker then said that he understood why Styles said what he said, but he crossed the line when he mentioned his wife, Michelle McCool. He claimed that Styles was upset because she did the face breaker or your Styles clash better than you, and she's the one that got it over.
So she's definitely going to hit Styles, or Styles is going to hit her with a Styles clash.
I've heard, I'm just going to say this, and this isn't me reporting anything because it's not 100% confirmed. This Boneyard match may have a couple cameos.
Yeah, I assumed. From the way he was describing it on Mixer, how it's basically just a buried alive match.
Well, maybe he said a street fight in a graveyard.
Well, what I heard was there's a graveyard and there's a grave. There's going to be a hole. Take that how you will. And I was like, all right, I assume it's going to be a buried alive type match. And I'm assuming he's either going to get tombstoned in or chokeslammed into that hole. He's losing this match. Undertaker's walking away with this win.
I would assume
AJ can take a loss.
Oh yeah.
This doesn't even fucking count as a Mania anyway to most fans. So who gives a shit? This is all for fun. Yeah. This Mania is just going to be for fun. None of these matches count. Fuck.
Because I was told was possible cameos in the Buried Alive. Actually, in both location matches, Buried Alive and the Funhouse match. Possible cameos.
Those are probably the 2 most matches I'm looking forward to on the WrestleMania card. The gimmicky,
right? Me too.
Probably would have worked better in the '90s type match. I really am excited.
And I mean, just to get off of this for a second. I mean, if you think about that Firefly Funhouse match, I'm hoping it's like a House of Mirrors type of thing, where it would be super cool if like Cena's looking for Bray, and like he looks in the mirror and he sees regular Bray Wyatt, and then like looks over into another mirror and he sees the Fiend, or he's like looking in the mirror and then
he Husky Harris.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then like he sees like the Fiend in the mirror, and then like glitches and he sees a different version of Bray Wyatt or something. But anyways, back to Undertaker AJ. I think if we get any cameos in this match, maybe Kane. I would assume Kane. Gallows and Anderson may be there as well.
Well, he said, I have my unholy trinity.
That's what I was thinking. What is his unholy trinity?
Kane. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't think he ever teamed with anybody else ever. Albert? A-Train?
He didn't team with A-Train. He faced A-Train in Mania 19 in a handicap match with Big Show.
That match sucked.
It was supposed to be a tag team match, but fucking Nathan Jones shit the bed days like a week before. Fucking Nathan Jones. Anyways, yeah. He says that he's going to bring his Holy Trinity. He said this is on AJ because AJ asked for this to be a Boneyard match. He said,
I really want to know what the Unholy Trinity is.
I don't know. Undertaker's Unholy Trinity. Then he says that he hopes that Styles brings his 2 ass clown friends.
Cool name.
He probably watched a Jericho promo recently. Taker then said that Styles will hurt, he will suffer, and he will rest in peace. The camera then expanded to show an AJ Styles tombstone.
It's cool. Some real 90s shit of Undertaker to do something like that.
Like you were saying, would probably lead into the buried alive possible concept of this match.
Yeah, I'm assuming it'll be a buried alive match.
Then we get Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton. They announced a 6-man tag team match tonight with Kevin Owens and the Street Profits taking on Seth Rollins, Andrade, and Angel Garza. And my social media blew up when that was announced because they're like, hey, motherfucker. I had one guy literally go, hey, motherfucker, you said Andrade was hurt. Why is he wrestling tonight? I was like, well, first off, this was filmed last week, so maybe he wasn't injured in last week's match, but the match that happened the next day before they taped Mania. Anyways, they also showed Becky arriving in her 18-wheeler, which I'm pretty sure was the exact same footage last time they showed that.
Dude, Becky, I'm not going to lie, that thing sucks.
The 18-wheeler?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like 99.9% sure it was the exact same footage from last time.
Cringe.
Thank you, Rachel Buck, for the super chat donation. She says, I hope Undertaker will
Nice.
have his badass theme song. Well, if this
You
is
done it now.
what I'm thinking, they may not do entrances at all. It just may just cut to the boneyard.
No, it'll probably show them pulling up to the boneyard. Like I'm sure Undertaker will he'll already be there, maybe
Well,
hanging out in one of the tombs,
what I
and
was
AJ
thinking
will
would be
pull up
cool
in his
is
Ford
like,
F-150.
well, no, what I was thinking would be cool is like they're doing a match or whatever. They're like, all right, now we're cutting it to location. It's time for the boneyard match. And then you see like this shot of Undertaker pulling up on his motorcycle or something, parking at the cemetery. And then he's just looking around. And then it like cuts and you see like AJ, Gallows, and Anderson. And it's all like foggy or something. I don't know. I don't even know where they filmed it at. To be honest,
You doing it now.
I don't know if they go.
gone and made a big mistake. That theme song's so good.
Yeah, it really is.
You
You like that better than keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
Keep rolling, rolling, I move out, hands up, no hands. I can sing. Fun fact: I can rap all of Limp Bizkit's "Rollin'," literally word for word, start to finish. I don't even need to listen to the song. I fucking know that shit in the back of my head. I have a deep love for Limp Bizkit.
How much do you watch TV with commercials?
I don't think the last time I watched cable television was probably like 4 years ago.
Oh, because there's this CarMax commercial.
Good Lord.
Where it's about this lady that's got a broken radio that's just stuck on Nookie and it doesn't change. She can't turn it up or turn it down. And so she's driving her kids to school and it's like, the Nookie. And then she's like stopped at a stop sign and freaking Fred Durst walks past her in the crosswalk and he looks up really fast at her car and she's just like super embarrassed and she like can't turn the radio down and they're like, at CarMax, we'll even take your car if it's got a broken radio.
That's great.
Like, how much do they pay Fred Durst to come out of freaking his hiding spot?
You could just dangle like a carrot in front of Fred Durst, and he's like, "Oh, relevancy." You know, he's a vegan.
I did not know that.
As of 2016, Fred Durst is a vegan.
Interesting. Remember when he was in that one WWE video game as an unlockable character?
I do remember that. What was that? Here Comes the Pain.
Oh, it might have been.
See that Here Comes the Pain or WrestleMania? Oh, I thought it was WrestleMania X7.
It was one of the PlayStation ones.
Gotcha.
I remember.
Gotcha,
I had it.
Gotcha. All right, let's continue on. We're getting way off topic.
Anyways, again, they announced the six-man tag, and Becky showed up. Becky then comes out onto the stage. She cuts a promo saying that last year she had to fight two women in the main event of WrestleMania, both as champions, and she really had nothing to lose. She said that she attacked both fools every chance she got and has been walking the razor blade lifestyle ever since. She then invited us to take a look at this match from last year as they played the entire main event for WrestleMania 35. And we're not going to review it. The match was like 21 minutes long.
Thank God. Also, out of all the matches they could have fucking shown from that Mania, they showed that one.
But, I mean, what else would they have shown that ties in with this year's Mania?
Nothing. You could have just shown literally any. Honestly, they have so much fucking footage cataloged. Yeah. Just put anything.
Right.
Put house show matches. I don't care.
But afterwards, Becky was still standing on the stage. She goes, "That's the first time I've ever watched that back." I'm like, "You didn't watch that fucking match. They told you pause for 5 seconds so then we can make it look like a cut and blah, blah. Anyways, she said a lot of people have tried to take the title from her since that night, and Shayna was just the next in line. She didn't mention how she lost the SmackDown title, how she only has one belt since then. Anyways, she said that Baszler claimed that taking the title would destroy her, but Becky thinks that not winning the title would more destroy Shayna. She said basically that Shayna's always lived in Ronda Rousey's shadow, and she thinks that Baszler now wants to do and be able to prove that she's done something that Shayna couldn't. That's beat Becky Lynch. Baszler. She said Baszler could finally step out of Ronda's shadow, but that's not going to actually happen. Lynch agreed with what Baszler has been saying, that the match would destroy either of them. Then all of a sudden, Becky gets put into a chokehold, and Shayna Baszler's there putting her in the Karafuda clutch. We then see them Shayna's got her in the Karafuda clutch, and she moves over to the announce table, and you hear Tom Phillips, "Oh, you better get out of there, Byron, move," and they both run away. And then Shayna just grabs Becky and like smacks her face first into the table. Then she picks up Becky and she swings her head first into the announce table. And Becky doesn't like block her head or anything. She just takes that thud of a shot right into the table. And then she just falls to the ground and just starts moaning while Shayna stands there with the belt. Cool.
I thought that was cool. I also love Chase Brim is really trying to get across the point that he doesn't like Becky, but YouTube doesn't like the word suck, so he has 4 straight. Chase, I'll allow them all. Like, I understand it. You didn't mean anything bad by that.
No. YouTube doesn't like the word
like,
sucks.
No. YouTube's just like, nah, you're putting Becky over. Shut up. Poor Chase. I love when YouTube does weird, fucked up shit like that.
Right?
Also, I just had an idea that I needed to say out loud, so I was forcing myself to write it. Just continue.
Okay, anyways. They then show clips from WrestleMania 24 when, well, we thought Ric Flair was retiring. He ended up going to TNA and working some damn shows in Australia with Hulk Hogan. So he didn't really retire. Even though
he really
I'm glad he didn't, because we got the greatest thing to ever happen in TNA.
No, okay, time out. That is a loaded statement because the greatest thing that ever happened in TNA was the Scott Steiner math promo.
You think?
Yeah.
I like Ric Flair, Jay Lethal way better.
I think?
No,
it's the best.
Jay Lethal, Ric Flair was just top notch.
That's up there. I feel like that's the one that I feel like both of those promos, even non-wrestling fans would be like, "This is fucking funny."
Right, but I mean, you kind of gotta understand what the Ric Flair character is to get the Jay Lethal thing a little bit.
I think you'd get it.
It's funny because you got this young guy pretending to be the old guy, and the old guy's getting freaking pissed off throwing his shoe and his jacket. And then, I mean, we're getting off topic again, but Rick just dropping elbows in the middle of an empty ring. And then you got AJ and freaking Kazarian. Oh, we're gonna come get you, Lethal, and they're just not even doing anything. And you had freaking what's his name, Nigel, in there too.
McGinnis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Nigel McGinnis
Desmond Wolf. When he was Desmond Wolf. It was the time when he was gonna sign with WWE. They wouldn't medically clear him. He didn't want to stop wrestling, so then he did like a year more wrestling before he officially retired, and he went to TNA for a little bit.
Yeah.
So then we got Alistair Black defeating Jason Cade in 48 seconds.
Who?
Jobber guy that I guess has never watched an Alistair Black match before because he was yelling at the ref that Black wouldn't wrestle him. And this has happened like 3 weeks in a row now where the guy's like, "Ref, you're going to make him wrestle me?" And the ref just goes, "Your opponent, go get him."
Fact. Like, what is the ref supposed to? Alistair, you got to fight, man.
Cage manages to hit Black with an enziguri, and then Black nails him with a great look of Black mass and pins him. There you go. The announcers then reminded us, hey, remember, Alistair Black is facing Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania.
Hey, so is that still happening or what?
I believe so because Lana was in Orlando.
I guess so.
Because Lana posted Thursday that she flew into Orlando on her Instagram, and then Thursday night she was leaving the Orlando airport. So she did like a in-out real quick date thing.
As you do.
She was posting how she was at the Los Angeles airport and it was almost empty. And then she got to Orlando and it was completely empty. There was like nobody in the Orlando airport. Next up, we got a 6-man tag team match. It was the Street Profits, Kevin Owens, taking on who we thought would have been Seth Rollins, Angel Garza, and Andrade. But Angel Garza and Zelina come out, and Zelina does state that, hey, last week, unfortunately, Andrade was injured. He suffered a rib injury, but because I'm such a great manager, I was able to acquire another talent to replace him. I got me another young, hot superstar from NXT.
Emphasis
this time,
on the hot.
Huh?
Emphasis on the hot.
You think I can see it now. Charlie Caruso cannot contain herself with either Angel Garza or Austin Theory.
Brother, I can't contain myself with Austin Theory.
So she says, we've got the hottest free agent who's no longer a free agent, which kind of led me to believe that maybe this is his call-up and he's just fucking skipping NXT. Austin Theory. So
maybe they impressed so much with who'd he fight? Ciampa?
He fought Ciampa a couple weeks ago, and last week he faced Tyler Breeze and lost.
Maybe they just really impressed him, and they were like, "Fuck it, you can just go."
Maybe. Unless Vince said, "Hey, Who lives here in Orlando that we can get last minute?
I mean, facts. All those NXT guys, they could just
Right?
grab them, or at least most of the NXT guys.
I mean, as
And
Triple H
girls.
said on SportsCenter last night, they're not making anybody wrestle. If they want to be there, they're volunteering to be there at the tapings. So
Wow, that's interesting.
what he said. He's like, we're not making. He basically said, I don't think he said the words, we're not making anybody do it. He said, but our talent have been doing these tapings in Orlando voluntarily.
Wow.
And because he was asked about the Roman Reigns match being changed, the Roman Goldberg match, and he just kind of goes, yeah, we know that Roman, his condition and stuff doesn't make it ideal for him here, but we're not making anybody, they're volunteering being here and this and that. And he tried to work around not saying Roman's out of the match, but then Roman went on Instagram today and said, I'm not doing the match because, well, I've got better things to think about health-wise.
Facts.
He literally said,
waste your time
he
taking
literally
a shitty
said,
Goldberg spear.
He literally said, it's already out there in the news, in the dirt sheets. I'm not working Mania. He's like, I had to pull out of that. He's like, and everyone giving me crap for it, calling me a pussy. You don't know if I've got newborn babies at home, what family I've got living with me. I don't want to get anybody else sick.
Facts.
I can't get
Doesn't he have a
myself
little
sick.
girl?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's got
fuck no.
at least 2 or 3 kids.
I wouldn't fucking. I couldn't imagine wanting to put your family at risk.
But I didn't realize how much. I had seen some of the backlash. We got it in some of our comments of Roman should have just worked it. Why does he get to take the time off? Blah 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 blah. And he said it too. He's like, yeah, I'm even getting the backlash. People saying that I'm a pussy for not doing this. He literally said that. He literally said it just like that. People said that he's a pussy for not working Mania.
I think it's that's so unfair to criticize Roman.
I'm going to say right now, it's people being uneducated about the situation and his
I
situation.
also feel like it's people just being edgy and being fucking like.
Because I got the thing of, if this was 20 years ago, Austin and Rock wouldn't have pulled out. They would have worked through it, even if they did get sick.
Yeah, but Austin and Rock also didn't have cancer.
I also had one guy argue with me saying, "Why'd Roman pull out? He's just sick. It's not like Austin and Shawn Michaels who had career-ending injuries and they still wrestled injured." I was like, those injuries didn't kill them. Roman can die if he gets sick again.
Facts. Dude, Roman gets sick.
This guy kept trying to
know what
argue
cancer is?
And this guy kept trying to argue me. He's like, yeah, but Austin could have died too if he took one more bad shot to the neck. I was like, but Roman can die sitting on his couch. Austin at least has to wrestle to get hurt again. Roman can die on his couch, and the guy was just like,
hey.
No, you don't get it. I'm like, no, you don't get it. And I just stopped. I'm like, I'm done with this guy. Anyway.
There's no point in fighting those guys.
This match starts off and we think it's going to be Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and Rollins just slaps Austin Theory and goes, you start it, kid. And we go, okay, that works.
Also, imagine how good of a match Tyler Black and Austin Theory is.
Oh, Tyler Black. Say Seth frickin' Rollins.
Well, because I think Seth Rollins and Tyler Black wrestle two completely different styles.
Kinda.
I think Tyler Black was much more like remember when he did the moonsault off the really fat guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe I don't think it was Excalibur on commentary, but it was someone popular on commentary, and they were just like, and he just did a flip off of that rather round man. It's like, dude, just call him fat. Just say off the big dude or something like that. Off the Haas. I don't know. Off that round man.
So Owens immediately decks Austin Theory and hammers away on him. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford took their turns on him as well. Simon Garza, after he got brought in. Ford then wiped out everybody with a dive as they went to a break. Heels worked over Ford after the break until he tagged in Dawkins. Dawkins ran over Garza and Theory before Rollins nailed him with a super kick. Owens then called Rollins a bitch with Dawkins down. Owens warned him that a kick was coming for Rollins, and he said, I can tell by his stance. So Dawkins avoided it. He's basically like, hey, he's going to super kick you, move.
Which I like. I like that idea of hey, this guy that always telegraphs his move, your teammate's going to realize that he's and then it just makes the match seem a little bit more legitimate. I feel like that's something you'd see the Revival do.
Yeah. So Owens tags himself in, and Seth tags out. And then there's a spot where Owens knocks down Angel Garza, and Angel Garza's scooting back into the corner, getting ready for the cannonball, and you hear Owens just yell, he's already down. He just runs at him and hits him with a freaking cannonball. He's good enough. He's in position. I'm not waiting.
I appreciate the
Owens was having fun tonight. You could tell.
Yeah, I appreciate the very good comedic timing, guys, in these kinds
Right.
of matches, especially with the no fans, and like you can hear the grunts and you can hear the breaths.
Right? Exactly.
So knowing that, like, it puts that thought in your mind of like, wow, I wonder if when there's an audience, if Kevin is also doing this, shit like that. Like,
I mean,
it
we know
makes it
Cena
funny.
does, because even with an audience, halftime you hear Cena calling his spots.
Oh my god, it hurts me so much.
Anyways, he hits the
Sometimes.
cannonball. Huh?
Yeah, just when Cena called out leg drop.
Oh yeah.
It fucking sucks.
So he hits the cannonball. Zelina Vega goes all crazy. He goes for the pin, but Austin Theory breaks it up. Ford then tosses Theory from the ring, and they went to flip dive on him. However, Theory didn't catch him, and Ford splatted right on the black mats.
Oh my god! Time out! The sound.
Yeah.
No. That's
why I said he splatted, because he.
Hey, did they edit it to try to make it look like he actually made contact with them?
Well, yeah, because they used the camera shot that was kind of like being blocked by.
It was so loud.
Zelina.
So loud.
Then they showed replays. Wait, where was it? Yeah. Then they even showed replays to show that completely missed, though, even though the live shot was, which is weird that the live shot's going to show him not, like, it looked like he hit it fine, but then they show a replay, and Austin Theory just fell down anyways. It's that freaking Jinder Mahal whisper in the wind spot.
Oh my god, where the wind hit him?
Yep.
What a good pay-per-view that was. I'm glad I woke up at 9 a.m. for that shit show. I remember doing the live show and then I went to lunch after.
Right. I remember you were just like, hold on, let's talk about this whisper in the wind again.
I was so passionate about the fact that he missed that whisper in the wind by
at
least
Jeff missed it, but freaking Jinder was not going to miss his spot.
Facts. No, Jinder was like, I am a professional. This man hit me with the whisper in the wind. So I'm thinking more about it and just the way Jinder fell. It's like when Batista did that bump where he got pushed off the rope and he took the nines and then fell back.
Yes.
Oh, Botchamania. Remember when Botchamania was good?
It's still around. They still do new episodes all the time.
I haven't watched it in a while. I miss Matthew.
Well, yeah, I think it's because now that we watch even more, it's like, oh, I already saw that.
Well, not only that, it's also like their shit's getting taken down almost constantly by fucking not trademarks, but copyright and shit like that.
Very true.
Poor BDWJ, whatever his YouTube is. I don't know his name.
The guy that does the compilation stuff?
Oh, yes. What a saint. I think I messaged him on Twitter. I just sent him a message. I was like, I love you. And he was like, I love you too. What a cool guy.
So then Owens hits Garza with a stunner and pins him 1-2-3, picking up the victory. Before Owens can even get back to his feet, though, he gets hit with the curb stomp by Seth Rollins.
Cool match. I enjoy it.
Then they cut away and they go, now let's show you clips of the Big Show on Netflix debuting next week, which I'm actually interested because this looks pretty dang funny.
I'm not a big fan of sitcoms. I've never really been, but I'll give it a try just because there's the tarantula. Sorry, I'm playing Animal Crossing. I will give it a I will
Did you get the apples I sent you?
I did, thank you.
Awesome. There you go.
I appreciate whenever wrestlers are in new mediums, and for Big Show to step out and do something new, it's pretty cool to see.
And I knew the name, like we all knew the name was the Big Show, but now knowing the actual like premise of the show, it makes more sense because he's playing
it's a show about
Big Show after retirement. Like he's himself after he's retired, which I'm like,
just him now.
It's actually pretty interesting of a concept. I like it. Anyways, cool, after the break, Owens is still sitting in the ring and he cuts a promo. He said Rollins kicked some sense into him. Owens thought a lot about what Rollins said last week, and after what just happened, he had a lot to say. Owens recalled Rollins saying that everybody should be thankful for everything he's done and getting the Performance Center built on his hard work. But Owens heard the opposite from everybody, that the Performance Center was built despite him.
Fact.
Owens said that Rollins was a nightmare from the day that he stepped into that warehouse down there in Tampa for FCW because he thought he already knew everything and that nobody could really stand him. Owens said that Rollins has proven to everybody lately that he's nothing more than an arrogant dipshit. The difference between them, yes, they may have came from the same place, but Rollins is delusional. Rollins claimed that he's a god at WrestleMania and that Owens would be a disappointment. Owens admitted that those words stung a little bit, but Rollins has skewed his view of reality. Owens mentioned that his championships and all the ones that he's won, including the Universal Championship, which he did way before Seth Rollins ever won the Universal Championship. But Owens,
he was
huh?
the second,
I mean,
third.
according to WWE,
Technically-
they don't even reference Finn as the first champion because it was so.
No, they definitely do. They definitely do.
I mean, they do, but they never say it. Like when Owens won that title, they basically pretended for a while that he was the first Universal Champion.
Gotcha. Didn't Trips help him win that match too? What a
Yep.
match! That was so cool when that happened. That was
Raw
so
in
sick.
Houston,
Yeah, it was so cool, man.
and Rollins was
He
in
has
that
good luck in
match.
Houston. He has great luck in Houston.
Yeah, Owens said
Great luck.
that he admitted that he had people watching his back and helping him to win titles and whatnot, but Rollins did too. He wouldn't admit it. He said Rollins always has help or some underhanded way to achieve all the mania moments that he
Facts.
accomplishes.
Facts, except for
Yet-
the RKO spot.
That's what I say. No one helped him WrestleMania 31 when
That's
he
the only
cashed in the main event. He did that against two motherfuckers. The only thing
I guess they helped him by beating each other down before
Well,
he
I
came
mean,
out.
Kane helped him win that Money in the Bank briefcase.
I guess so. Yeah, technically.
The only thing he said Rollins said that made sense was that his past doesn't matter. Owens sat up finally and said that on Saturday, so I guess he's confirming that their match is night one, he would prove that Rollins is not a messiah or a god. But on Saturday, he would take WrestleMania, his first WrestleMania from him.
I would like if Kevin's first WrestleMania win was against Seth Rollins.
I could see Owens winning.
Because I just feel like that would be, for him to pick up his first win against someone who's won, who's cashed in at Mania and
Right.
won, who's beat such high-profile names, and yeah, Kevin doesn't need the rub, but Kevin could benefit from the
Right,
rub.
exactly.
Anyone could, and so to give that to Kevin to win, I think would be a great idea. Plus, I think the crowd is so much more behind Kevin than they are Seth Rollins any given day of the week.
He then said that he would burn it down at WrestleMania.
Burn it down. Cool theme song.
So, going off, talking about WrestleMania, but WrestleMania 32 for a second, I want to get your opinion on something.
Go ahead, man.
So, they aired the show last night on ESPN. Of course, we reviewed it here. I reviewed it and whatnot. But it was interesting that the two matches they didn't air, could you take a guess on what two matches did not air from WrestleMania 32?
Where was Mania 32? Was that the one in my backyard or was that
Dallas.
the one? Dallas. I assume that they didn't air the. I don't remember any matches that happened at Dallas. What
So
happened?
they didn't air Jericho AJ,
Did they? Oh, was that the Dean Ambrose one?
and they didn't air Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. Like,
Yeah.
they sacrificed. Like, last week, I gave them the benefit of the doubt on not airing the Shield match because it was a short match. So I'm like, oh, why do we need to see that match? It's the Shield against Kane and freaking New Age Outlaws. And everyone's like, no, you're wrong. They didn't air it because Billy Gunn and Dean. Well, this week, they didn't air Jericho's match, and they didn't air a Brock Lesnar match.
Well,
They aired
I
the Andre the
assume-
Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I assume they didn't air that Brock match
Because
because
Dean Ambrose.
well, no, not because of Dean Ambrose. He signed with AW, but because Dean Ambrose has publicly buried that match as a dog shit Brock Lesnar didn't try
Oh,
match.
that
So when
too.
people see that, they'll probably look up, oh, what was the reason for this match, and then they'll come across that Stone Cold interview where Dean Ambrose talks about Brock Lesnar not wanting to do shit, and then that can
Right.
skew your guys in the
Got a
wrong
point
way.
there.
And I'm sure it also had to do with Dean not being with the company anymore, and why
Right, 'cause
would we give him that
'cause-
fucking that payday?
Because think about it, they aired the Battle Royal, which, what was the big thing of that Battle Royal? Shaq was in the match.
Oh, dude, I swear that I'm telling you the facts, because that's how I beat Shaq. Boom! I put it in the hoop like slam. Put it in the house like jam. I
Anyways,
swear. That's How I Beat Shaq by Aaron Carter.
oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I swear that I'm telling
The
you
only
the
Aaron
facts.
Carter song I know is "I Want Candy."
I'm telling you, man. How I Beat Shaq, the music video, Shaq's in it.
I would assume
So good. Hey, you see how Aaron Carter kind of went off the deep end?
Aaron Carter's fucking just
It's
wrecked.
crazy. Yeah, poor guy. Much like what's his name, Macaulay Culkin. Isn't he
Yeah, he's
fucked
kind
up?
of getting his life back together.
Oh, is he? I'm very glad. That makes me happy because Macaulay Culkin was such a highlight
Yeah.
of my childhood.
But the crazy
made me
thing
laugh
is,
so much.
Crazy thing is, during that whole downward spiral with Macaulay Culkin, he was dating Mila Kunis.
Shut up, Meg. Family Guy's such a shitty show, but I love it so much. The Undertaker needs to be 25-2. That's a conversation that Tim and I can have tomorrow. I have an idea for a conversation we can have for a podcast. Hold on, real quick.
Well, we
Forever
got a Tuesday show tomorrow.
Cool username. Forever Atheist says Nick music references are so on point. I don't know if you call it a music reference, but all right, buddy.
Sure.
Thanks, man.
They aired a Edge a Randy Orton video package before Edge cut a promo from backstage in some creepy little area. Edge cut a promo sitting backstage. He said that Orton was probably right when he said that Adam Copeland was a junkie for Edge, but it wasn't an ego thing. He loved the feeling and reaction from the crowd when his music hits. He shared a connection with the fans, and he loved it because of those fans. He recalled WrestleMania 6 being there as a little kid, Hogan versus Warrior. He said that they were all junkies for this, and if you're not a junkie, then you're just taking up space. You shouldn't even be here anyways.
I love the idea of telling Randy Orton. Love the idea of telling Randy Orton you shouldn't be here. The guy that has been wrestling since what? As long as John Cena has, but he's still with the company full time, putting on banger matches each month at least. Randy Orton doesn't get the credit that he is deserved because he always plays that like, oh, I'm the senior in high school and you're the freshman. You know what I mean? Like I'm the cool guy. It's like I'm the senior that hasn't graduated for the last 25 years. I'm still in high school. But I do think Randy Orton is a great heel, and I think he does a great job with what he needs to like do to help put guys over or get stories over in general. I think he does a great job on that.
He then said that, where was it? He said they must have different definitions of the word grit. Grit didn't mean getting handpicked for evolution or coasting and just showing up here and there. He said for Orton, being okay was still being better than most. But for Edge, grit meant reaching down into the hole and pulling someone who didn't deserve it out, turning down a spot in evolution because you didn't want somebody else to be someone else's lackey, forging your own Hall of Fame career and working for 9 years to end things on your own terms. Edge said he was wrong when he said that Orton was jealous of him. Orton was jealous of his passion, not what he's done in his career. You either have passion or you don't. Edge says he has it and Orton doesn't. Well, Orton does sometimes. And
no, I was gonna say I think Orton and Edge, two of the top guys that have the most passion for wrestling that you can identify. There's a lot of good,
but there's no denying that when Randy Orton doesn't care about a program, he just coasts right through it.
Yeah, he'll let you know when he doesn't give a shit. Yeah. What was the last Randy Orton program you remember him just not caring about? And while you think about that, I got to take a tactical pee-pee because I've been drinking since like 7 p.m. So excuse me.
I don't know. Everything before Edge? Like everything before the Edge stuff? Basically, everything from the Wyatt family storyline to the Edge stuff, to be completely honest. So, where was I? Edge only felt that Orton had passion when Edge was around. He said everyone was saying that Orton was at his best right now because Edge is around and hasn't been this good for 9 years. He said Orton was a junkie for how Edge made him feel. The voices in his head forced Orton to make a horrible mistake. He said the Royal Rumble might have been enough closure for him, but Orton crossed the line. Orton put his hands on his wife and said the names of his little girls. Orton accepted the last man standing match against a man who dove headfirst into a flaming table with thumbtacks in every inch on his body just to grab that torch that Orton took for granted. Orton stepped into another hole this time. Edge would not put him out, but push him so far that he can't step out of it. I thought this was a great promo from Edge. Edge was very passionate here and really just gave it a lot of gusto.
Edge, he gave it a lot of grit.
There you go, yep. No, but to your question that you asked me, you said, when's the last time Randy Orton didn't care? I said, everything between the Wyatt family stuff and now.
Yeah, you think so? You think he hasn't cared since the Wyatt family?
I think he took a little pride in injuring Mustafa Ali because he played that up on social media. Be like, hey, I'm the one who took that fucker out.
Yeah, he did.
But that's just Randy Orton being asshole Randy Orton. Anyway,
Yeah, I feel like Randy Orton's really good at pissing off fans that think they know more than they do.
and I think I've heard Randy Orton could be an asshole, but I hear sometimes Orton just plays it up just because he knows it gets to people.
In the same way that I play up being the dumpy idiot because I'm just fucking like I get it. Like people think it's funny, so I'll
Then
play
we
it
got
up.
another Monday Night Raw debut tonight from Caden Carter of NXT. Took on Asuka and lost in 1 minute and 13 seconds. Asuka cut a promo before the match, seemingly questioning why she was even having this match. Then asked Carter, "Who are you?" Asuka won fairly quick with the Asuka lock. We then learned, well, actually before the match, we learned that Asuka and Kairi Sane would be defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
When are we gonna do our Mania prediction video?
Every time I say the fucking Alexa, it goes off. I would say,
what good timing.
I would say, I'd want to do it before Friday, but we almost can't. Because
I mean, what are we talking about tomorrow? Well, yeah, technically, because we don't know the quote unquote official card.
Because the Universal title match has not been officially changed on TV, and I don't want to give out spoilers in a video where it's not going to be titled "Spoiler Alert" for this video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
because
you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we could even just record it now and not put it up.
Well, no, because even though we know
there's
most
a
of the matches,
couple
there might be a couple that we don't know. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the SmackDown Tag Team Title match, even though it's being advertised as a triple threat tag team ladder match, is not. But we don't we don't know the exact route they went with that match. Other than I'm pretty sure, spoiler alert, it's Morrison, one member of the Usos, and one member of the New Day in a ladder match. So I would assume Kofi.
Did you see what one of the Usos put on Twitter today?
No, I did not.
They posted a picture of their Mania batch, and they put hashtag Rona Mania.
Oh, I did see that.
Like the Corona Mania. That's you could tell that they're upset right now that they're.
Oh no, they were fucking human.
Fuck man, you know what? If I went to work voluntarily and worked my ass off almost every day to only have one of my coworkers come in who is sick, putting me, my family, and like all of my other coworkers in danger, I'd be fucking pissed off too.
But here's the thing that people kept getting on me about. They're like, "Oh, you're saying that Miz caused all of this, and Miz was coughing and sneezing." Well, isn't WWE checking everybody before they get into the Performance Center? And my thing was,
no.
Yeah, they are. Jerry Lawler said that they're taking everybody's temperature before they go inside.
I feel like I don't believe that whatsoever. Like, no, they're not. There's no way that they're actually caring.
They do it at the AEW tapings as well.
That's good.
But here's the thing.
Mike Kaiser does it.
You can take somebody's temperature. They have a fine temperature and not cough for that 2 minutes you take their temperature and then go inside and start coughing and sneezing. But then another guy goes, "I live in Orlando. Fucking allergies are bad right now. I can't stop coughing and sneezing." And literally the comment was, "I live in Orlando. I feel for Miz because my allergies are bad. Maybe he's just got allergies. I don't got corona."
Fuck that guy. I hope he gets corona.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it, baby. Let's continue on with how Raw was. Are we coming up on the main event? Yeah, this show felt so fucking long tonight. This show felt like a 3-hour Raw used to.
The thoughts and views of Nicholas does not actually reflect on Pro Wrestling Unlimited and those that also work for this company.
I'm a member of PWU, but my thoughts and comments are my own.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
I have to start putting that in my tweets.
They showed footage from earlier today. Charlotte Flair attacking Rhea Ripley outside the building, booting her from behind. An agent and a referee who helped to be nearby checked on Rhea Ripley, backed off Charlotte. Charlotte said that she would see Ripley at WrestleMania and walked off. Instead of running after her, Ripley got up and yelled, "Yeah, you will."
This show was kind of silly at times.
They then aired from Survivor Series last year, Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio. Cool. Dominic hit a frog splash in this match.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember there's only one good memory about that. Between that Brock Ray match. Wait, what match are we talking? We talking about the Brock Ray? Was that Survivor Series where Dominic interfered?
Yes, and Dominic hit the frog splash.
Okay, cool.
And everyone made fun because they're like, "Look, it's Eddie's kid hitting a frog splash."
Yeah. I didn't even say Google. That's insane.
Anyways.
Both of ours went up. Anyway, my favorite thing about that match is that back when I was moved out and I was living with Kai, Kai had a cousin, a very lovely young woman. She had a boyfriend who didn't really talk to me and Kai whenever he would come over, but he would still like kind of hang out with us and he would smoke with us. And there was one point where Kai and I were watching a replay of Survivor Series. We hadn't watched it yet. We were bored, so we just put it on. And he sits down, the boyfriend, he sits down and he's like, is that what's his name? Rey Mysterio? And I go, yeah. And he's like, oh shit. And so he watches the hype package, like and he's like, he's got a lead pipe. Is he wearing a Louis mask? And I was like, dog, do you want to watch the match real quick? And he's like, yeah. And he sat there and he's like, this shit's cool. I was like, hey.
Nice.
This shit's so great.
So then the announcers run down the so far official WrestleMania card. They did not mention Bill Goldberg versus Roman Reigns.
Why does no one call him Bill?
He's just always been Goldberg ever since he debuted in WCW.
Well, I feel like they'll call him Bill Goldberg in like interviews, but when it comes to match time, he's Goldberg.
What are you gonna have the fans chanting, Bill Goldberg, Bill Goldberg?
Bill, nah, the Goldberg guy.
Oh, I was gonna say, Bill Spear, the Goldberg guy.
Anyways, a good one.
Anyways, they run down the full Mania card,
really
and then we get Brock Lesnar versus, well, not Brock Lesnar versus, I'm an idiot. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Before we
this Heyman promo was really good.
It was, but before we get to that, we have to talk about our sponsor for today, Manscaped.
Oh my God, shave your fucking pubes, folks. Especially now, they're gonna get dirty during the hibernation.
They will. Support for Pro Wrestling Limited is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision, engineered tools for your family jewels. We all know that you guys are stuck at home. Coronavirus, you're not probably going out and having much sex, but still, you gotta clean yourself up, even if it's for yourself. No one likes to jack off with a hairy bush down there. And Manscaped, well, they can help you with that. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. And they just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. The third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. When I tell you this is a premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. One of the coolest features is the LED light that illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. They also have upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a rapid charging dock powered by USB. If you're still listening to me speak right now, you are one of the first people to hear about this life-changing product, and I want you to experience firsthand for yourself. Trim that junk of yours, people. Get 20% off and free shipping by using our promo code PWUnlimited at manscaped.com. Trust me, your balls will thank you. Again, get 20% off free shipping with the code PWUnlimited at manscaped.com.
Listen up, folks. The same exact facts forever atheist. He said, am I really hearing Nick and Tim talk about shaving their balls? Exactly. It's cringe shit. It's cringy. But imagine how good it feels to not be disgusting down there. Think of how much sweat builds up. It's gross.
It's easier to clean them when they're shaved.
Facts. Clean your shit, kid.
Like I said, even if you're not engaging, even if you're not engaging right now in sexual activities because you're social distancing, men probably not social distancing lefty or righty.
You gotta send pictures to your lady. You don't want it looking dirty. You want it looking nice and tidy.
And remember, if it's clean, it looks bigger.
That's that. Yeah, because that's what I needed. Oh, good Lord.
Talking about bigger, we got Brock Lesnar in the ring here with Paul Heyman.
you in your transition.
Lesnar and Heyman, they stood in the ring here. Heyman didn't want to pull the curtain back on the business because he loved the magic of WWE, but he said that they call this the Go Home segment on the Go Home Raw before WrestleMania. More often than not, the man standing in the ring for the very segment Brock Lesnar was in. He said that he was the beast he said the beast would not be slain and the conqueror would be conquered. This year, Drew McIntyre has truly stepped up. McIntyre was special. He conquered some guys on the streets, but McIntyre hasn't conquered this man. He said he conquered to the dumbass in the gym who claims that he can do the WWE stuff. McIntyre was special. He even conquered the locker room. McIntyre was special. Heyman said The Rock was also special, but he got beat down by Lesnar. So was Hogan, who had his blood wiped across Lesnar's chest. Also, Randy Couture, Shane Carwin, John Cena, and The Undertaker all felt the same wrath.
Facts.
They were all special and legends, but when they got in the ring with Lesnar, they ended up like everybody else. Not so goddamn special, but Lesnar's bitch. The Claymore kick wasn't going to work. Just like the rock bottom and the leg drop and the attitude adjustment or the tombstone didn't work. Heyman guaranteed that next year on the Go Home segment, on the Go Home Raw, Brock Lesnar would be standing there with the title over his shoulder, and he would be talking about McIntyre getting beat at WrestleMania 2020. This year, McIntyre walks in special and walks out just like everybody else, Brock's bitch. And here's the thing.
Telling you, bitch is the word.
This is like the third year in a row that Brock's going in as the champion. So Heyman's little prediction of Brock going to the Go Home Mania or the Go Home show for Mania as the champion, it's kind of more like Vince will probably just throw the strap back on him after a couple of months. So I can almost say this and almost guarantee it.
Which would, I'm sure that would get them a ton of heat if he was like, and even if he loses, Vince will realize that whoever is champion isn't good enough and will bring Brock right back.
Hey,
that could get him some really good heat.
He already pulled back that curtain saying this was the Go Home show.
Ugh. Filthy, filthy, filthy.
That was Monday Night Raw. Before we wrap things up, I do have a couple of text messages here I do want to read. Person says, with the Corona situation, do you think WWE will add on wrestlers' contracts? No.
Nah.
Because this isn't the wrestlers being out with an injury or not wanting to work. This is government's telling them they shouldn't work, but they can if they really want to. I'm going to tell you right now, if WWE were to even try to add time to somebody's contract, it wouldn't stand in court.
No, you wouldn't hear,
Now,
it
adding
would be
for an injury,
a fire.
They can get away with that because WWE's whole thing would just be like, well, they didn't work for 6 months, so we added 6 months to their contract. But if they say, oh, they didn't work for 3 months because they didn't want to come to work because of coronavirus, you think a judge is going to rule in favor of WWE? They're say, hey, you fucking moron.
Hey, real quick,
safe.
If you guys want to know more about WWE adding shit to your adding time to your contract and shit, that Talk is Jericho episode with Brody Lee.
That was great. I listened to it this morning.
Good God, he is such a well-spoken man.
Yes.
I love that episode. And I don't like listening to Jericho's shows because he sounds like a walking fucking billboard. But I do enjoy when he has guests on that are very he does interviews fantastic.
Yeah, he's a great interviewer.
He says, here's a question. Do with it what you will. And then he sits back. And then if he has something to chime in to make the story go, he'll do it. Love it. Brody Lee talks fantastically, and he talks a lot about when he asked for his release and the whole adding time thing, gives his thoughts on it. It's really good. I recommend that you guys check it out.
One thing he said that I didn't realize, he said that if none of this stuff happened and AEW ran their same schedule, didn't have to pull out of any venues or anything, we knew that he was supposed to debut in his hometown. But he said if WWE didn't release him the day that they released him, he actually wouldn't have been able to debut for AEW till the 25th. He would have missed his hometown by a week. But
why?
But
because they released.
Because that's when his actual contract would have been up. But because he was released when he was, the 90-day, which he actually said somehow they added an extra 4 days to a 90-day no-compete clause, so it was a 94-day no-compete clause, actually ended just in time to where he could have, if they were still in Rochester, debuted in his hometown.
That would have been so cool.
And
I would have loved to see
if they would have just not released him and waited for his contract to expire, he would have had to wait an extra week. So it kind of all just kind of flowed the same way anyways, getting released when he did or not. But this person says, hey, Tim and Nick, question. Do you think Taker will be full-blown return as the American Badass at WrestleMania?
I am the American Badass. No, I don't think so. I think you'll just see you'll probably see, like, I assume his ring attire isn't going to be normal Undertaker. It'll probably just be a pair of, like, the leather pants and, like, maybe no shirt. And if he does, maybe, like, a tucked-in muscle shirt. But, like, I don't think you're going to get the theatrics of American Badass.
No,
I don't think you're
I just think it's going to be, like, it's going to be Undertaker, but less gimmick and more just guy.
Yeah, it'll be like I'm fighting. Well, a lot of it feels like I'm fighting because you disrespected my wife.
Right.
So, like, I'm coming in there to kick your ass and fucking bury you. And when he says in his promo, like, you know, what better guy to do that than the Undertaker? It really makes it seem that, like, he is aware that the Undertaker and Mark are like, I can switch back and go back to biker, or I can fucking possess your soul and create lightning with my hands and things of that nature. Remember how crazy Undertaker's gimmick used to be? Remember when he... Yeah. Who did he possess? Josh Matthews! He possessed Josh Matthews at one episode of SmackDown?
Yep.
Oh, so good. That was so dumb.
This person here says, hey, Tim and Nick, do you know what matches are for what night? Night 1, Night 2, Saturday, Sunday. So all we do know right now is that Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins is Night 1. Because Owens said 3 times in his promo, on Saturday, on Saturday, on Saturday.
Saturday.
I believe the Universal title match is Night 2, because when they did do the Goldberg-Roman Reigns contract signing, Michael Cole did make reference to this being on Night 2 Sunday. So I assume Universal title match is Night 2. If that's the case, then I would assume WWE title match main event's Night 1.
Good shit.
Person says here, do you think Drew and Charlotte and Drew McIntyre are winning their respective title matches? I mean, we'll get into the spoilers later in the week, but I can see McIntyre winning. I don't see Charlotte winning at all.
Yeah, I don't see Charlotte winning.
Other person says, Edge returning full-time or just for Mania? Full-time as far as 5 or 6 matches a year.
Cool. I think that's perfect for Edge.
Yeah, I think he's got like a deal where he's got like 25 dates, and out of those 25 dates, he'll work 5 matches or something like that.
Because you figure, like, the guy has been through a lot. I would rather take one really good feud every once in a while.
And he's getting
than,
like
some...
$3 million for it.
Good Lord.
Because that's what AEW offered him. He told it to Vince, and Vince goes, we'll match it if you sign.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I couldn't.
It's like 2 or 3 million.
Wish I could do that to my boss at my job. You know what my boss said at my job? My real life job? They said, hey, since the mall that you work at is closing, you guys are going to be out of work. And I said, I'm a full-time employee. Are you going to provide me any benefits? And then he said, no. And then they're like, all right, we're not going to answer our phones anymore. Thanks, Lids. I hate this company.
Reported that Edge signed a 3-year, $9 million contract for the $9 million over 3 years, total of 25 appearances a year and 5 matches a year.
That's $3
So he's going to get $3 million a year. So yeah, I was about right. I wasn't thinking it as a whole. It's $3 million a year for 3 years.
That's some good fucking money, Beef.
Yeah, I think that's more than Randy Orton's getting. I don't know.
Tim,
I don't know what Orton's new deal is, so I don't know.
Tim, I think we should wrap this show up tonight.
We got one more text message here. The person says, do you see The Fiend versus The Undertaker at Survivor Series? No.
Nah, definitely not. But what I do see is I see you guys following me, the drunk boy on this show, on Twitter. Yeah, I'm drunk. I sent that text earlier. I texted my friend, They said, what? And I said, I'm drunk. And they said, what are you doing? I said, my job. I'm working. I'm doing the podcast. And they're like, you need help.
Well, good thing you can do this with some drinks in you.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like it's like you're working at the mall having to interact with customers.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just interacting with 139 of my best friends in the goddamn world. And all of you guys should follow me on Twitter at ArmWeek21. You can check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/ArmWeek. And I swear to God, if you don't go to twitter.com/PW Unlimited or just at PW Unlimited on Twitter and give us a follow so you can stay up to date with news, entertaining shit, stuff like that all the time, then just do that. So you can follow us over there. Tim, where can they find you?
You can follow me basically everywhere at Timmy Buddy. You can follow me on Twitter at Timmy Buddy. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Timmy Buddy. And my last question to you, Nick, is what's with everybody on Twitch playing Uno? Been a lot of people playing Uno.
Achievement Hunter, very popular YouTube channel, Achievement Hunter. They're
I don't know
underneath.
who they are.
Yeah, they did a Let's Play in Uno. And
so everybody copied them?
No, it's just that it ended. It meant to be like a 30-minute Let's Play. They were just filming it before they left the office so they could have something. It ended up going 3 hours, and they called it Uno the movie. And it got really popular.
Cesaro tweeted, I think it was yesterday. It's like I played Uno 4 days ago, and I haven't stopped.
It's so. It's just
like
it's
Woods
also
has been streaming it every night too.
It's also like a really good community game because you can get like people in there, and so it's not. It's like people can feel like a lot with like Jackbox and Animal Crossing and stuff like that. You can get everybody involved, so the people watching don't feel like they're just sitting at home with their dicks in their hands watching.
But with that, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We will be live again tomorrow for the Nick and Tim show. Not sure exactly what we're going to talk about because, we kind of do that show off the cuff most of the time anyways. But with that,
no kidding.
I want to say thank you guys for joining us here tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Call your mom. She probably misses you.